What up, squad? MizzyWorld back with my brother, Reg Howard, for the exclusive Suffering into Success book interview. Now, my first question about this book, it was well put together, it was amazing, it touched me in so many different places. What was the process like of making this book? How long was the process, and when did the process really begin?
Well, I got the title from, I know you probably remember, it was Khaled's album, Suffering from Success.
Suffering from Success.
And so I had that title. I think that album came out like maybe 2012, 2013. I'm like, yo, I don't got success right now, but I'm suffering into success. So,
right.
That was where the title came from. I held on the title, and about 2016, I was started working on my book, and I was like, all right, I got a book about success, but I wanted to, I don't know where I want to begin. Then I always keep a list of like random titles, concepts in a folder, and I went back and Suffering into Success stood out. I'm like, boom, that's what I'm gonna write about. So from 2016 to 2018, it was all writing and figuring it out. It was so many times. I was writing during family time, like when everybody watching movies. I got the laptop open.
Exactly.
I gave up multiple times. It was a long process, but it's literally one of the second, but besides my children, the second thing I'm most proud of, and because it took so much work, dedication, hard work, many roadblocks. We talked about it off air, and it just really I'm proud of it, basically.
Right. So, did you do a lot of researching on how to write books and how to construct a book, or did it just come naturally because it's a well-written book? And I'm just like, well, hey, did you do a lot of research on how to write a book, or what was that like?
Well, it's tons of research out there. So yes, I did a bunch of research, but
or was it just from reading books and knowing
that's
how
the
they
real
went?
one that I was about to say.
Okay.
I just love self-help books so much, and I knew I wanted to write one. And so when I was doing mines, I would go through a bunch of other self-help books and just all right, this is the format that I want mines in. All right, they put quotes in every chapter. I'm gonna put quotes in every chapter.
Right.
They titles look like this. They concepts look like that. So
if I like this is how I'm gonna format mine. I'm gonna take this format.
That's it. It's almost like basketball players. Kobe got his own style, but we can tell that's Jordan's stuff.
Right, exactly.
So
and with Jordan, you could tell that he took his from Dr. J and the players before him.
Yep. So I just followed the greats because I wanted my book to be great, and I love the reception it's getting it.
Yeah, man, that's crazy because I knew this brother for a long time, and when he dropped the book, and just to actually read it, when you know the author and you're able to actually speak to that person, because this stuff, anything to me, artistic is amazing, especially if I haven't done it or it's something that piques my interest in general. So this is something that I haven't done, and it's something that to me is extremely hard because before I got back into college, writing was my number one bugaboo. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not writing once we had writing assignments in high school. I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm doing that joint the night before, rushing through that joint. So to see how well constructed it was and how well written it was very impressive. But you speak about a lot of personal experiences and a lot of down times, a lot of high times too. So what was the most difficult thing to really write? What was the one things that maybe you cringed at as you were typing these stories?
Anything that had to involve my family, from my mom to the opening story, prologue, my dad talking about his journey, my uncles, anybody that involved their family members, because you never want them to be perceived badly. It's almost like when you and your girl argue and she go back to tell her peoples, and then y'all get over it, but they still mad.
Exactly. It's because the way you made the argument seem and perceived.
And then this is going to be around forever, so I don't want that one...
people looking like, oh, damn, your pop was like this, or your mom was like that. How your people was like... Yeah, that's
so
crazy.
That I had to be very careful, and I wanted their approval. I had to look at it through their eyes in order to write, because if you writing from a place of hurt or pain or something like that, it can come off like that.
Right.
And you don't want that perception. So anything that involved my family, that I had to be real meticulous about that.
Okay, so how did you handle that? Did you actually speak to them maybe about certain ways that you wrote a story or something, or did you just look at it from their perspective?
Honestly, the raw version of what I wrote is way different
crazy,
than what it came out as. As I'm going through the edits, as I'm finishing up, I started to change the wording and try to put the positive spin on what they were trying to do. So as far as me talking about my dad and him not getting his dreams accomplished, why didn't he get it? Instead of like, yo, you ain't nothing, you ain't do it. It was like, oh, life got ahead of you. You didn't have the guidance. You were trying to figure things out. It was trying to understand their perspective and putting it in there.
Because you understand their perspective, because you have normal conversations with them, but your readers can't have these conversations, so you have to kind of shine a light on that perspective, so they don't have to. It's all like you said, it's the balance.
Yeah, because I would never want nobody to have a bad taste of my mother because she was the basis of the book. Right. That's why as soon as you open it, say and for my mom.
And the last thing was a loving message to your mom.
Yeah, I had to because she gave me life. You can't have
right. And you say that over and over again in the book, and that's something that we all have to not take for granted. Is the life that we're given. At the end of the day, because mind you, she could have had an abortion. She could she did. I always say, even with the book being about our struggle, she couldn't have been here. She didn't have to do half the things she did for me. So you can excuse if she did 200,000 things right and she did one thing wrong that you don't like. That gotta outweigh it. Exactly. And that's a problem like that I spoke about just in general. What I think society is that we tend to focus on maybe that one negative instead of looking at the 10 million beautiful things. You feel what I'm saying? So I thought that was dope the way you put that out. Do you have a favorite chapter though?
Nah, I can't. That's like picking like between your children. Like I thoroughly enjoy my own book, and that's not even like even with me going through my accident, I had to relook and align the stuff that I said because I wasn't in the greatest mental space after recovering from my accident, but reading those words and going back, that was basically me at my highest peak of who I am. It's like almost like watching your highlight tape and you trying to get back. It's like, yo, shape, that's me. Like I
while you in rehab and you working the legs and the ligaments, you're like, hold up, man.
Like let me remind myself.
Back to that form.
So all of the chapters are my favorite. I guess my favorite part was really when I went to my cousin's house overseas and I recognized that he was appreciating something that I deemed as was trash.
Exactly.
And just almost like, yo, you got to be grateful for what you have.
Life in hindsight.
Yeah, because it makes you appreciate what you already got. You mad because both of your cars is not working, but you got cars. To be mad at.
Exactly.
Like some people walking, so I guess that's probably one of my favorite sections, but the whole book is like something I really like.
It's your baby, so it's kind of hard to say. That's like saying what's the favorite part on your child or something like that. I love my whole child. You know what I'm saying? But to speak about the chapters, how did you go about finding the quotes that were at the beginning of every chapter that I thought was very integral to give a little bit of a foreshadowing about how you were going to approach those chapters?
So I had just going through everything, lining everything up. Like I said, in the beginning, I always keep little concepts, little things around. So I would hear something about suffering or success, and I would put it separately from everything else. And then when it was time to write the book, I'm like, oh, I'm using this quote, I'm using this quote, I'm using this quote.
Perfect for them.
And then I just started Googling people that I looked up to or famous people that I know talked about success, and I'll put their name in and put like, what did they say about suffering? What did they say about success? And then I will find the quote, and it's like, all right, that gotta go, that gotta go, that. It's more quotes. I just didn't have no room.
Everybody can't make it. You know what I'm saying? All the quotes definitely hit home when I read them. Though it was very insightful. All of those quotes. And my favorite, like I said, my favorite chapter was Suffering in Silence, just because it really spoke to me directly the most, because the whole book spoke to me directly. But that one was like, it was whispering in my ear. You feel what I'm saying? Was there a specific reason why you made that your last chapter?
It's because I knew it was going to probably have the most impact as far as people relating to it. And I know we all suffering in silence in our own way. Like, as for example, we talked about, like, when you start learning something new, it's like you don't want nobody to tell you that you're messing up or you don't know what you're doing. Like, you keep it to yourself. Yeah. And it's
like, learn it yourself.
That's the best time to reach out to people, because now you're like a cup and you need to be filled right now. So you're not coming with all these different perspectives. So we all, in a way, and it was like I said when I tell the people in schools, we all shouldn't feel alone in a room full of people. And I've learned to express myself more as opposed to keeping it inside. If I'm, my girl asks me, like, "Are you mad?" Usually, it's like, "No, I'm chilling." It's like, "No, I am mad, and I'm mad because of da 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 da."
Right.
And we don't have, and I think that's, I don't know where that comes from, but we don't have the vocabulary to express all our feelings. The only ones we know is anger or happy.
Yep. we got two emotions in the
That's
black
it.
community.
That's
You
it.
either happy or you mad.
That's
you know
it. And it's like, yo, it's an array of emotions out there, but we have to take the time out to, with ourselves, learn how to express it so that
these
way.
emotions, right?
That's it.
So we don't misconstrue what emotions we're going through at the time. You're either, you can't, like when you're going through an emotion and you're picking and you only know two emotions, like that's tough because like you said, there's a wide array of different emotions out there. So if you misstep and say, "Oh well, I'm angry," that's when a lot of things, like you see in our black community, a lot of things go wrong simply because our quick reaction is to feel as though we're angry, and then when we're angry, we react in a violent manner.
And it only breeds that, like you said, that one reaction when you're angry, as opposed to me getting in trouble with cops or talking bad to my girl or getting in trouble with another dude, and you like, yo, you mad. It's like, no, I'm hurt because my dad ain't want to talk to me, or he ain't pick me up, or he ain't buy the shoes, or my mom on drugs and I can't, you know, it's just,
I'm going through stuff right now. You know what I'm saying? He turned my lights off, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You just like, oh dang, I didn't know you was
going through all that.
Exactly, you know what I'm saying?
That suffering and silence piece, that's the real, I guess that's the one I wanted to make the most like impact as far as like impression on somebody, and because I know at the end of the day we all feel it.
Exactly. And it's definitely like probably the number one issue with just the black mental health and everything, and that's the communication.
That's it, man. And quiet is kept. That's what my next book is going to be about. This was a success, and y'all got the exclusives of the next one's going to be about communication.
Oh my goodness, I can't wait for that one because I know how you put the work in and how you're going to delve into that. What can we next expect? Another project? You working on another project?
It's a bunch of stuff coming on. I got another book talking about my car accident. I got the title, but I can't release it yet.
It ain't that exclusive.
But y'all can expect my children's book coming soon. I want my son to have something on his own. It's all gonna be in his name, all under him, and it's gonna talk. I want to talk about mental health in the community, but from a child's perspective.
Right.
So. And plus, I want my son to start with the entrepreneur thing early, and then have something to call his own. And
exactly. So I mean, practice makes perfect, and if you start practicing at a very young age, by the time you get to your age,
that boy gonna be a beast.
Super monster. You dig what I'm saying? That's beautiful, and that's something that I feel as though we need to shine a light on. Is just starting off our kids in entrepreneurial things, and that's not to say that they're gonna end up doing that, right? But it's definitely to learn the business side of a lot of different things, because just knowing the business side can get you into a lot of positions to make money in life.
And it's a sense of ownership, like owning something that you can say is yours, that you created. And I'm trying to fulfill that lane that Bill Cosby left with his situation, like Lil Bill. Remember that was my thing.
Yeah, man.
I'm Lil Z, my son, he gonna fill that space, and we're gonna try to do big things with it.
That's what's up, bro. That's what's up, man. Into that. I appreciate you coming on, bro. If y'all haven't got the copy of this book, you can follow him on his Instagram, on his Facebook page. Name gonna be in the video. Y'all can holler at him. He does drop offs. You know what I'm saying? You can get your copy today and really learn how to suffer into success. You feel what I'm saying? Appreciate you coming on, bro.
Nah, no problem, man.
Tune into the Black Podcast, the Black Mental Health Podcast as well. Y'all know what it is. MizzyWorld Exclusive. My brother, Reg Howard, Suffering into Success. Book interview. Gang.
Always want to do that, gang.